Hello children. I've come with my third story of the storytelling session that I do on Ammu and You. Today the story is Kuna Kuni Take Flight. It has been written by Srimati Gouri Dash, mother of a very dear friend of mine. And the illustrations have been done by Ratna Moriniaux Rege. Once upon a time, there was a very beautiful and dense forest named the Pipli one. Lots and lots of plants and trees grew there. And the trees grew tall and they kept on growing as if competing to reach the sky. The forest was so dense that no sunlight reached the ground. Animals and birds, they made their homes there, and they were all called Piplis. No human beings stayed at Pipli 1. Once a parrot couple, Tuna and Tuni, were blessed with a set of twins, a son and a daughter. Everyone was overjoyed. The news spread across the forest and people were rejoicing. People means the inhabitants were rejoicing. Tuna ran or flew to Aloud the priest, who was the priest of Pipli 1. Now here is Golu. He was very lazy and did nothing but sleep all day and so had become obese. Very reluctantly, he got up, and after getting up, he heard the news and then was very happy. He then found out his book, wore the glasses, put on his black umbrella, and turned the pages of the book, found an auspicious day for the naming ceremony, and promising to come on time, he went back to sleep again. Now the day of the naming ceremony arrived. Everyone came to attend it. What a gathering, wow! Veru, the ferocious tiger, was wearing his new suit and was looking so handsome. He was distributing sweets to everyone. And Monkey Uncle, he had come with his pink glasses on and he had brought green guavas to give to everyone. Bear had got a big beehive which everyone wanted a lick from. Then Chatpat Squirrel, she came with juicy, ripe berries. And Bunny the rabbit came dangling bunch of fresh carrots. Everyone put all of this in the center and they made a big circle. Golu the priest arrived. He started his worship. He prayed to the God of all living beings and saying a few verses, he invited grandparents Guna and Guni to come and name the children. Guna and Guni proudly came and named the children Kuna and Kuni. Everybody cheered at the lovely name and then the feast began. What a feast it was! What merriment and what a spread! Everyone had a lovely time. Now days passed quickly. Kuna and Kuni were growing up. They were getting naughtier by the day. And Mama Tuni had to stay back to look after them because there were no nannies or babysitters in Pipli 1. Papa Tuna had to go out in search for food. he would go find fresh fruit, get back home for his family to eat. And these naughty kids, as soon as the mother's back would be turned, they would try to totter alone on the branch. Mama Tuni would turn back and shout at them, "You are not supposed to fly alone. Do not even try that," she would say, and then lovingly would explain that, "Please do not try now. Everything will happen at the right time. So when you grow up a bit, your wings will get stronger and then you will be able to fly completely on your own." Kuna and Kuni would be very happy to hear that and would wait for that wonderful day. Now one day, Papa Tuna had to go to attend a wedding of his friend far away in another forest. Now who would get the food that day? Mama Tuni had to go. So before leaving, she strictly instructed the kids, "Do not step out of the house till I return." And she went away. Now she had been at home for so long that she was not really knowing which trees would she get fruits from. So she was hopping from one to the other, searching, and she got very late. The kids were getting very hungry and they started crying and quarreling. Now Gopi the cowherd had come to graze his cattle on the slopes near Pipliwan. He heard this noise and he looked up and saw the cute babies. An evil thought came to his mind. He took a net and spread it under the tree and kept a ripe banana over it. Seeing the ripe banana, since he was very hungry, he flew down, or rather dropped down, and got caught in the net. Kuni, trying to save his brother, she was shouting, don't go, Mama has told us not to go." But Kuna didn't listen. So Kuni also flew down to save her brother and got trapped into the net too. Gopi very happily put them inside a cage and, covering it with a towel, set for home. Now Papa Parrot came back, found nobody at home. He was wondering when Tuni Mama also came back home. And she said, "Where are the babies? Kuna Kuni, Kuna Kuni." But no answers. They got very worried. Where had their children gone? So they cried out for help to all their friends and said, "Our children are missing. Please come and find them." Now, Teji the crow was Kuni's friend. She came flying and said, "I saw Gopi, the cowherd, very happy with himself carrying a cage. But I could not see what was inside because the cage was covered with a towel." They all made a plan and Teji flew back and did what? Pecked on Gopi's head. Taken aback, Gopi started shooing the crow. Shoo, shoo, shoo! Lost his balance and fell off. The towel also fell off. And Teji saw Kuna and Kuni there. She flew back and told this to the birds and took Kuna and Kuni to Gopi's hut. Meanwhile, Gopi had reached home and had taken the cage inside his hut because it was already evening. Sadly, Tuna, Tuni and Teji kept sitting on the tree outside the hut. Next morning, they saw Gopi come out, bring the cage, hang it on a branch of a tree, and leave with his cows to graze them. As soon as he left, the parents flew down to the cage. And Kuna and Kuni started crying, seeing their parents. The parents calmed them down and said, no, there will be no use of crying. Stop crying and be brave, have courage. We have come to help you out. And they flew, got fruits and brought them for them to eat, got water for them to drink. Being assured by their parents, the kids then calmed down. Suddenly they saw Sankhi, the black cat of Gopi, come out of the hut, and seeing the baby parrots, in joy jumped up to eat them. But fortunately the cage was on a higher branch, so Sankhi could not reach. Now Tuni and Tuna were very worried that now if Sankhi tries and reaches the branch and eats them up, what will happen? So then Tuni told Tuna, please go to my friend Kuturi the mouse and bring her. She will help. She stays in the bamboo grove at Pipliwan. Now they didn't have an address, so Tuna flew and reached Bamboo Grove. But where to look for her? So he was going from one house to the other when he heard someone singing. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. Oh my God. Singing. He knocked. It was Dundul the frog who was singing. He got very annoyed. Who's disturbing my practice? Then Tuna told him the story. Dundul was very concerned and said, what can I do to help you, Tuna? So Tuna said, I'm looking for Kuturi the mouse. Dundul said, oh my God, Kuturi the mouse? She's my neighbor, next door neighbor. She lives in the hollow of the tree next to my house. They reached there and saw Kuturi nibbling at a piece of wood. Kuturi saw them and said, this wood is very dangerous. The humans cut trees, take the wood and put us in cages. And when Tuna told her why they had come, Kuturi started crying. Oh, my friend, she's so sad. Her babies are trapped. I will go and free them. But my teeth have become blunt because of continuous nibbling of wood. It will take a long time to cut the cage. What can we do? So now Dundul the frog, Tuna and Kuturi kept thinking. Suddenly they saw the lizard Champa, who was peeping out from behind the leaves. On hearing the sad story, Champa also said, I also want to help. And she came up with a brilliant idea. Let's go to Manu the blacksmith. He will sharpen Kuturi's teeth with his tools. Now Manu the blacksmith lived across the river. How would they cross the river now? There was only one boatman, Pokhari the prawn. But no one liked him. Why? Because he was irritable, annoying and grumpy. Do we like grumpy people? No. We like friendly, smiling, happy people. So no one liked it. But they had to take his help. So they told the story and Pokhari readily helped them, took them on his boat and ferried them across the river, where Manu chiseled and sharpened Kuturi's teeth and wished them good luck. Now, Tuni Mama was getting worried. Why is Father Tuna not returning? What will happen if Kuturi is not found? Who will save my children? And she was getting anxious when suddenly she heard the fluttering of wings and she saw Papa Tuna coming with Dundul hopping, Champa the lizard slithering fast, and Kuturi the mouse scurrying as fast as she could. They all reached there, and Kuturi immediately said, I will nibble off that cage and help the children free. But Dundul said, wait, Kuturi, if you go, then do you see Sankhi sitting there? Sankhi will see you and pounce at you and gobble you up. What will happen then? That was again a problem. So the friends again sat and brainstorming for an idea. Then Bula the dog, who was walking from there, he said, I also want to help. And can someone get some fish for Sankhi to distract her away from here? Tuna said, of course. He flew away to his childhood friend Raja the kingfisher and told him the whole story. Raja immediately, wasting no time, dived into the stream and came up with some fish, wrapped them up in a lotus leaf and gave it to Tuna. Tuna brought the fish and dropped it at the backyard of Gopi's house. Now, Dundul, very casually, Dundul the frog came to Sankhi and said, wow, Sankhi, you're the most beautiful cat I've ever seen. Sankhi swelled with pride. Everyone likes to be praised. And then Dundul said, by the way, do you like eating fish? I saw some lying at the backyard. Hearing this, Sankhi ran to the backyard. And sure, there was fish. She started the feast. When Bula the dog was waiting for his turn, he jumped with his mouth open at Sankhi, and Sankhi ran for her life. She was very scared of big Bula, and Bula chased her till far. Meanwhile, Kuturi entered the hut, climbed up to the cage. Kuna and Kuni saw Kuturi and was scared. But Kuturi said, children, don't be scared. I'm your Aunt Kuturi. I'm your mom's friend, and I have come to help you out. Don't be scared. Have courage. And she nibbled the wood, the strips of the door of the cage. Once she did that, she told the kids, now children, it's your turn to be strong. Be brave, take a leap out of the cage and fly out to your parents. The children had never flown before, but they were brave. So they jumped out and with their stretched wings flew out of the cage and out of the hut into their parents' arms. The parents hugged them, were very happy, and all of them left for Pipliwan, their home. All the animals rejoiced because the babies had come back safe. Tuna and Tuni thanked all their friends with the bottom of their heart and said, you really are true friends. Without you and your help, we could not have been able to get back our dear children. And they stayed happily ever after in the forest. So children, I hope you liked the story. And I hope you saw the importance of having true friends. We must always help our friends. And one more important thing, always obey your parents, children, they are your well-wishers and they always give you the right advice. So, be safe, be happy. Till I see you again with my next story next week. Love you all. Thank you for hearing the story. And much, much love from Ammu and you.